I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Last time I did sort of this kind of vlog just because I was on the go and I recorded a video. You really liked it, and that's when Kenyon was in the hole, also known as solitary confinement, and that was April 30th. So I thought that since everybody asked for an update, I was going to do an update. It's a beautiful sunshine weather. Thought I would do it outside, take advantage of that. So if you want to know what's been going on, just keep watching. But before we continue, you know that little red button that says subscribe. Click on that, ring the bell so that you're notified when I post any kind of a video. And hit thumbs up if you like these videos. Okay, so like I said, last time I filmed a video, it was April 30th. It was his birthday. And also I thought that there was a chance he was going to call that day. As you know, I was in the car when he called. I wasn't expecting it. I was doing my own thing because, like I said, I don't sit home with a phone. I bring the phone with me, but I don't sit with it. And I had stuff to do. Luckily, he did call. We figured out what was going on. And I didn't know if I can talk about what happened because this is, you know, it is prison stuff. So now that it's been time, today is July 23rd, something like that, 24th. I don't know what day it is. It's end of July. So now that he's not in the hole anymore, he's out, and I can actually talk about what happened. So here we go. Let's go back to beginning. So April 1st was the conversation we were having. He was on the yard. He was on the phone. We were having an awesome conversation. It was actually pretty warm, just like now. So he said just he had this funny feeling. I don't know, funny feeling. Now, a lot of the guys in there say that after you've been in prison for a bit, you can feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. I don't know. I don't feel that yet, but I'm not in there. So anyway, he said he just had this funny feeling, but you know, they always kind of look around and see what's going on. There's nothing going on. We kept talking. And like I said, we had this really great conversation. And then I heard him say, "Oh, shit." And I don't use this word often, but that's exactly what he said. And then there was a commotion. I can feel the phone move. And then he was back on the phone. It was a couple of seconds. He was back on the phone. And then he said, "I will call you later." Now, he never talks like that. He'll just say something like, "Hey, I'll call you later. I'll call you tonight, or I'll call you tomorrow." Just the way he put emphasis on later was really weird. I didn't pick up on it then because I really wasn't thinking of it. And then I heard him hang up the phone, except I thought he didn't properly hang up because I heard the phone hit the booth, but it didn't actually fully hang up. So I thought that was by mistake. I heard his voice and he said, "Take me to SEG." Now, SEG means segregation, solitary confinement, the whole. Right? So I heard him say, "Take me to SEG." I didn't know who it was to. And then I didn't hear him after that. And then I heard a lot of noise. And I don't want to minimize what these guys go through at all. But this is my first time ever hearing what happens on the yard. So I got to say that it's been about 4 months now. I still can tell you everything that was going on pretty much per minute, per second. I know it was less than 10 minutes, but it felt like longer. It was a lot of screaming. It was a lot of swearing. It was noises that I don't know how to describe, but a lot of words like, "I think I broke this," or a lot of swearing, obviously. Then you hear a lot of keys. I'm assuming that's guards, boots, whatever else. And then it was quiet. And then I heard the phone click, so somebody must have hung it up. So that was pretty scary. I didn't know what was happening. And about 2 hours later, I got a message from a friend of his that says Kenyon went to the hole. That's it. That's all I knew. So I don't know how that process works. And again, let's remember that Kenyon is not originally from Oregon. He's interstate. So I didn't know how things work in that state at all. I didn't know what the process would be. But I understood that he may or may not get a call after 30 days, which April 30th would be his birthday. And like I said, he did call me, so we did talk about what happened. So here is the events that happened. He told me he was on the phone, everything was good, and then suddenly he turned around and the kid, he called him the kid. I mean, he said this guy was probably between 18 to 20 years old, about half his age, so he called him the kid. And I know the name now, but I'm gonna refer to it as the kid. So the kid was next to him and he was doubled over. He had blood gushing through from his nose. It looked like his nose was broken. It actually was broken. He couldn't get up, and somebody that was near him, just this guy, walked past him and just punched him or hit him or something like that. Basically unprovoked, out of nowhere attack. We now know it was just really unprovoked, just because. And he couldn't get up and he was bleeding. So Kenyon kind of recognized that that guy will hit him again. He knew of him, not him, but he knew who it was. He knows that this is a person that's going to keep hitting you for no reason. He'll just keep going until you're dead, pretty much. And he said, I couldn't watch this kid die. I've seen too many people die in prison as it is. I'm not going to watch him die. So what he did was he stepped in front of the kid. He put his arms kind of against the other guy, sort of to put that barrier. And he told that kid, go run inside, just get out, which is what he did. He did manage to get up. He went inside, and that was that. And he knew, like Kenyon knew, that this is a big guy, but he can handle this guy. Now this kid can't. So, and then he understood that putting his hands on another person, even though he wasn't fighting with them, but putting his hands on another person, it's going to be trouble. It's going to be violation of prison rules. So, and the other part, like he said, he felt like this wasn't it. There's going to be a fight starting. He didn't want to be in the middle of that either. So as soon as that kid got a chance to run away, he took his hands off. He went backwards to the guard and just said, take me to SEG. That's it. Because he said that I knew that after that, I'm off the yard. Nothing else is going to affect me. So they did. They took him to SEG. So that was April 1st. That's what happened. Now, typically, you will get a hearing. A hearing is supposed to happen within 15 days. This is when you're going to sit, I guess, at a table, and they are going to tell you what you did, because they have camera footage. So they'll tell you what they saw. They'll tell you if they talked to anybody or anything like that, and you have a chance to tell your side of the story. So he knew that about 15 days he'll get a hearing, and he figured he was participating in the fight, but he wasn't fighting. He wasn't going to get much time, and that was going to be that. And 15 days he didn't have a hearing. So as you know, that was 30 days. He was entitled to that phone call, and he called me. He still didn't have a hearing. Actually, he got a hearing that day, like right that morning, right before he called me. So 30 days he got that hearing. Now, to clarify that a little bit, the hearing he got was not the one I just described. That is supposed to be by law. The hearing he got was that the lieutenant handed him a form that says, you are in a fight, you will be doing this many days. And he got 100 days. I believe it was exactly 100 days. It might have been 101 days. I can't remember exactly, but about that. So you're going to do 100 days. Just to note that the guy that sucker punched that kid got exactly the same amount of time he did. So is it fair? Is it not? We're not going to go there. I don't think it is. When I actually talked to him, I was not happy about fighting, because I mean, I'm not okay with fighting whatsoever. And he said, okay, well, look, this is who I am. I know that this kid would have been dead, and I could stop that. And I can't live with this on my conscience, knowing what could happen to him. So knowing that he got that much time, he said, I still don't regret it. I feel like I did the right thing. So, like I said, we had, I don't want to say heated conversation, but he got my point of view that I was not happy with the fact that he got in trouble and he was going to do that much time. But I understand his point of view too. He's just that guy. He's not going to stand by, watch something happen. He was willing to do the time. He said it was worth it. So anyway, that is what happened. So the person that hit that kid got 100 days. He got 100 days. And actually, there was a fight that happened on the yard. Everybody that was there, I think it was about 60 guys. They all got pulled out of the yard. They all got time and seg. But these two got the longest amount of time. They're the only ones that got 100 days. Everybody else, I believe, got about 30 to 45 days, even though those were bigger fights. Okay, now I'm just going to go on a little bit of a side note here and explain that the law of the hearing is 15 days. Now, that didn't happen. So one of the reasons I wanted this channel is to mention how many corruption and law breaking happens in prison. And here's an example. They're supposed to give you that hearing within 15 days. It didn't happen. You're supposed to have a chance to have a say. It didn't happen either. And he explained that to me, that the reason he said, I will call you later that way, is he was trying to make sure he emphasized later as in I'm not going to be able to call you. He was trying to get me a way that I know that he's okay, but I'm not going to hear from him. So I know that now. I didn't know it then. Lesson learned the hard way. The other part, like I said, you didn't hang up the phone properly, so I heard everything that happened on the yard, and he said, I did it on purpose. I didn't hang up the phone because I wanted you to hear what's going on. I wanted you to hear that I was going to go and say I'm going to SEG. And so I did tell him I heard the entire fight that happened after he went to SEG too. Like I said, that is PTSD I'm going to stay with. But his intention was to make sure that it's not that he tells me what's going on and I just have to believe him or not believe him, whatever else, is that I actually hear it. So I know he's telling me the truth. So the other part I was going to mention is Kenyon is under Oregon's BHS unit. Did I mention I'm looking for bees? I'm allergic to bees, so I love the outside. Do not love the bees. So if you see me doing this, I'm not crazy. I'm just watching for bees. Anyway, so Kenyon is under BHS unit. That is Oregon's Health Services. It's a specialized unit that you're classified under. So as you know, he's got a physical handicap. You've seen this picture. And he also has mental health issues. Like he's got severe PTSD, among some other things. So anyway, that is part of his classification. He's in the BHS unit. So for those in the BHS unit, you're not supposed to be in solitary confinement or segregation for longer than 15 days. If you look at the law in the United States, actually in the world in general, the Nelson Mandela law says that any time spent past 15 days is considered torture. So any time in solitary confinement beyond 15 days is considered torture. Now that's not limited to United States. That is United Nations all over the world. They consider torture if you are in solitary for more than 15 days. So knowing that somebody with physical and mental health issues is in solitary, not just 15 days, not 30 days even before they even know that they're innocent or guilty. So they're in there for 30, 45 days, 100 days before they might even get that hearing or before they even know how long they're going to be. And if they're innocent, then that time is just spent for nothing. But they're in there for that long, and they could be completely innocent of any suspicion or charges, goes against United Nations law. Does that say the prison uphold the laws? No. So there's that. So again, he was in there for about 30, 31 days before he got to even know how much time he was going to be in there. And they don't count that time towards your sentence, by the way, or towards your time in solitary. So they do break the law. And the fact that he is BHS, and that says he cannot be in there for more than 15 days or even 30 days. And nobody cares about that. They classify you, but they don't actually follow what that classification or what their medical rules even say. So he got his time in SEG. Now, you guys know I did the video on Jmail because for me to send him letters, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks. And for him to send me a letter back, it's about another 3 to 4 weeks. So Jmail let those letters get there about 3 to 4 days and vice versa. So that really actually helped. However, Kenyon is very resourceful. Let's say that. He has done time in more than one state. He knows how prison works a little too well, unfortunately. He knew he was going to be doing time. So he got a job as an orderly. And if you guys don't know what the orderly is an inmate that is doing the cleaning. So it's anywhere. If they're doing cleaning, they're called porters or orderlies, or it depends on the state, but in Oregon, they're called orderlies. So cleaning is one thing. He likes cleaning. He's very, very picky about cleaning. He will be the first one to say that. However, this is in the hole. Now you imagine the hole. This is where you see blood and urine and feces and, I mean, everything like that. Nobody cleans that. So he volunteered to do the cleaning because it's a job, but you're not paid for that job. So I'm going to say he volunteered to be the orderly. So sometimes if that job is available, and it usually is because nobody wants to do it, he took it right away. So what that means is that you can get a phone call more than just once a month or once every so often. You can get a phone call every day, once a day, to one person. And sometimes you can get an extra tray, extra meal at dinner time. He didn't do it for the food, although we know that inmates are hungry, they want their food, but he wanted that phone call. So after April 30th, I was able to talk to him every single day, pretty much every single day. So we did have a lot of talking done. So he's the only one that would figure out that, hey, I'm going to find a way to communicate, because that place is bad and communication keeps you sane, routine keeps you sane, and plus he needed to make sure that he does what he can to keep that communication going. So he's a very dedicated person that way. When you are one of his loved ones, he'll do whatever it takes. So I'll give him that. All right, so we got to him being home, and anyway, this is after 30 days. So like I said, I was not expecting more phone calls, but that's how he explained that to me. He got the job, and now he'll be able to talk to me. So you guys know that I wanted to do a video on solitary confinement. It's a project that I personally deeply care about. I was passionate about for a long time, but I didn't know how to do it because it's such a complicated topic. You can't do it in 1 hour or one video. So I decided to do it as series of videos. So I have a playlist. It will be a series of videos that was going to be coming. The fact that he went in the hole kind of coincided with the fact that I was working on this topic. It was not planned that way. I swear, nobody did that on purpose. However, because he was able to get phone calls, he mentioned, you know what, how about I can tell you what's going on here. You can record it and you can use whatever you need to. I'll answer whatever questions. And so we did it that way. So when you guys do watch those videos, you'll hear him recording or talking right from the hole. Inmates call it the hole. You'll hear him right from segregation. So it's not just something that somebody tells you. It's not something that you read in the book. You actually hear what's going on in the background, and it's not easy. I admit that. So I did check the laws on it. Now, the phone he was on is just, it's their prison phone. So this is not a contraband phone. So when he calls from it, everything is legal. It is a legal phone. It's not a contraband phone. The phone calls recorded. It is legal. the staff there actually knew that I was recording the phone calls, although Oregon requires one party consent. So we had that. We had consent. So it is legal. All those recordings are fully legal. I checked and double checked and triple checked because that's my OCD that would kick in when it comes to legal statutes. So when you hear that, that's authentic. Anyway, so that is, again, why I want to subscribe, because you're going to see those videos come up in a bit when I finish filming them. It's really hard to put that together. And the quality in there is not the greatest, but like I said, you'll hear exactly what's going on in solitary. Moving on, because I can go on a tangent there. So we've talked a lot, well, at least daily, through the time that he was there. It was definitely not easy, but I got to hear all that happens in there day by day, every issue, everything, pretty much about everyone. And this has been my introduction to solitary confinement. I think I'm now certified in solitary confinement, and I never wanted to be. Anyway, so this is now July. He has done his time. He was actually out of the hole on July 1st. That was the day he got out of the hole. So what happens after you get out of SAG is you get what's called LOP, and that's LOP, loss of privileges. Again, I don't understand this because going to the hole is a punishment. So I don't understand why you get punished after being punished. That sort of made no sense to me. If somebody knows this, please explain to me, because I'm confused, because I haven't found rhyme or reason for this. But loss of privileges means that you have so many days of loss of privileges, loss of things you might want to have. So they're allowed to go to chow hall at meal times, and they're allowed shower times, which is 2 to 3 times per week, depending on staff. And that's it. So there's no video visits, there's no phone calls, there's no programs, there's no incentives, nothing's going on. That's all you get is food and showers. So that was not easy, because during that time I actually didn't hear from him. He had got 21 days of loss of privileges. So yeah, that was not easy. So he's done his time in segregation. He's done his time in loss of privileges. I didn't film this until now because I wanted to make sure that everything I'm saying is allowed to be said, just in case. You know, I wanted to dot the I's, cross the T's, all that kind of stuff. My point of that was that, just like I said in the last video, you can't stay by the phone. You can't will for it to ring, because it will drive you crazy. Take my word for it. Kenyon and I talk a lot. We usually talk on the phone at least twice a day. Their phone calls are half hour each. We usually do an hour a day. And then we do emails, several per day. That's a normal. And even when he was in the hole, we talked for an hour a day. There's actually a few times we got 4-hour conversations because nobody was using the phone and they let him have it. So he's a pretty likable guy when he wants to be. So anyway, the side topic, and I'm stuck to the chair. So we talk a lot. That's just been our thing. Communication is the biggest thing we do. And it's really hard to go from us talking a lot to him going the hole for that 30 days where I didn't know what's going on, didn't know what's happening, didn't know when I'll hear from him. So 30 days of no contact, and suddenly he got contact, and we talk a lot. Then he gets out of the hole, and there's no contact for 21 days. Except I didn't actually know it was going to be 21 days. He didn't know it was going to be 21 days. He just knew it was going to be approximately sometime between 3 days to up to a month. So if I sat watching for my phone to ring, I would go crazy. So I'm going to include the tips and ideas of what to do or what you can do for your loved ones when they're in the hole in those videos when I do film solitary confinement videos. And then I'm also going to film parts of what I found I had to do, what worked for me to get out of that mindset, to keep my mind going, you know, because my life didn't stop. Just because he was in the hole, my life was still going. Just because he had loss of privilege, my life was still going. And I can't obsess about it because it does drive you crazy. And I mean, come on, we have our lives out here. We got day-to-day jobs, we got kids, or I have kids, and so life continues. So I did want to film all that stuff for any of you that are in that position and wondering what you can do about it, because it is very hard. It's very hard to worry. It's very hard to be frustrated, to not know what's going on. And those feelings and emotions are all over the place, and the worry is in there. So you got to keep yourself occupied. So I'm going to film that in there. But the one thing I can say is you can't watch the phone. You can bring it with you, but make sure that you have things going on. But like I said, he's done the hole. He's done LOP. And so now he's back to, I want to say normal. There's nothing normal about prison, but normal. And now he can call whenever he calls. Again, I don't know when. It's depending when the phones are available. Right now, they don't have enough phones. So it's when he can. And I know him. He will call when he can call. It's just, again, I can't sit by the phone and wait for it. So I'm going to actually go and do stuff, and I'm going to film some more of those other videos, and he'll call when he calls. So speaking of which, looks like it's him. He was able to call. So you guys give me a second and I'll be back. All right, guys, so thank you for joining me today. This is July 22nd, I think, 21st, something like that. You were asking me about an update on Kenyon. So I thought I would do that and enjoy this nice, beautiful sunshine and a couple of bugs and etc. So make sure you go out, enjoy your day, and again, hit that thumbs up button, because I would like to film these videos more often, weather permitting. Bye.